Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Thursday today. It's the end of the month. It's the end of September already. Crazy. Um, Soon to be October. You know what October is? October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And I have some ideas of some stuff I'm going to do for it, but um, we'll see. I'm not going to talk about that just yet, but I have some ideas. So couple of things. Today, I heard, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard, that Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the actress, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I just think that it's like, it turned my stomach. First of all, I'm a huge fan of hers. And it just, like, it just broke my heart. It was one of actually two people I heard today was diagnosed with cancer. The other one I'm not going to mention because it's the mom of a friend of mine, and I don't want to out them in case they haven't said anything yet. But it's just heart-wrenching. And at the same time, I can't help but wonder if somebody like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, being in the position that she's in and has such a large reach, she had posted today about healthcare and making sure that everybody gets healthcare in this country to make sure that they are taken care of when a crisis like this happens. And I couldn't agree more. And I don't want to get into a political conversation. It's not a political conversation. It's just more about, you get diagnosed and it's so freaking scary. And you're like, what do I need to do? And to be able to know that your insurance takes care of you and, you can see great doctors and you can be in the best hands is so important. So my heart breaks for her terribly. And I want to sort of publicly, even though she has no idea who I am, it doesn't really care, but I want to sort of publicly wish her the best in this battle. And I'm sure she's going to do amazing things. And I look forward to see what the journey is for her and how it can benefit all breast cancer patients. So it is heartbreaking and at the same time an amazing opportunity for awareness. So I just want to sort of use that as a reminder to you guys that breast cancer, or any cancer for that matter, doesn't give a crap how beautiful you are, how famous you are, how rich you are. It knows no boundaries. And especially like when you talk about my case, I had no family history. Julia Louis-Dreyfus actually just did an interview also where she talked about she always ate organic and she always ate grass-fed meats and she is like eats a ton of vegetables and clearly she's in great shape. And I don't know what her genetics are, but I can tell you that my genetics were negative. I didn't have the BRCA gene. I have no family history. I know I've talked about all of this before, but I just want to remind you, it doesn't matter how old you are, what your family history is, what your genetics are. We are all susceptible. And 1 in 8 women get breast cancer. That's a shit ton of people. And that's just breast cancer. Forget about all the other cancers. So it's scary, but awareness makes it less scary. Knowledge is power. So ladies, please, 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 I just want to remind you to be checking yourselves, be your own advocate, and just to take care of yourself the best that you possibly can. I posted a picture yesterday that a friend of mine took of me, and I talked about how I'm a feminist and how feminism for me really begins with this right here, like taking care of yourself and loving yourself and self-care and self-advocacy. And I just want to tell you all that it's really important to be doing that. And just kind of remind you of that. So that's my first message. My second message today is not really about cancer, but I think that it will resonate with a lot of people. And let me know if it resonates with you. I'm watching the comments fly by over here. See, over here, I get to see all the comments. So that's why sometimes I'm looking at you and sometimes I'm looking away because I'm looking at the comments. I went to yoga today for the first time since probably end of June, early July, probably end of June. I went, haven't been in. Like, if anybody knows, or if you don't know, I'll tell you, I am a huge yoga fan. I love yoga. I am not bendy. I've learned in yoga that there's two types of people. There's like bendy people and strong people. I'm not bendy, but I am strong, or I was strong at least before the surgery. And I used to love doing like the inversions and all the challenging poses and I loved yoga. I loved everything it did for my brain and my body. And so I decided today that I was going to go back. I went to a hot yoga class. Shout out to Charlene, who taught me the class today, if she's watching. And it was hard. It was like kind of way harder than I thought it was going to be. which is just really a case of denial, and not in a bad way, by the way. Like my denial is more like I'm convincing myself I can do anything I want to do. So when I actually can't do it, I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean I can't do this? But I know my limitations. I'm realistic about it, because I still don't have full movement in my chest and my arms, which is getting a ton better. In fact, this shirt I put on today all by myself, and it has a zipper in the back, and I was able to zipper it, and that's kind of a big deal for me. So anyway, I went to yoga today, and it was really, really, really hard. And I had a moment where I just decided to take a break. Here's the weird thing: if anyone does yoga, I have a really hard time doing downward dog, just because of the not because of the weight that I'm putting in my arms, but because of the angle that my arms are at and like the stretching of the muscle. It was really hard to just do a downward dog. I couldn't even really do a vinyasa. Like doing like the push up and the cobra, I really couldn't do it at all. It was really, I almost cried. I was really frustrated. I managed to work around it and kind of skip the vinyasa and go straight to a modified downward dog. And every once in a while I would do a child's pose. But I had a moment where I was just really frustrated, and I just sat down, and I was in the corner of the room. So I was watching everybody else do yoga. And I just had that moment of like, wow, look at her. She does her vinyasa so easily. And look at him. He's really strong. And he's like, killing that, that pose. And I wish I could be like this one. And I wish I could look like that. And I wish my body was that way. I just wish I was where I was prior to my surgery, because I was really doing a lot of yoga at that point. I was really in a good place. And then in my mind, I just went, okay, stop. First of all, rule number one of yoga is what happens on your mat is your business, and what happens on everybody else's mat is their business. But for me, it was a lesson that I want to share with you. I had to stop myself, and I had to say to myself, this is your journey alone, and comparison is the thief of joy. You are never going to be happy here, and you are never going to enjoy yoga if you're so busy watching everybody else. Do you. Just do you. And the best that you can do is the best that you can do. And it'll be really exciting to see the progress. Maybe next week you'll be able to do a downward dog, or maybe it'll take a month, but whatever it does, I'm dedicated to do it again. And this is true in so many aspects of our life. We compare ourselves all the time to what everybody else is doing. Where are they at? Am I better than them? Am I, worse than them? Are they stronger than me? Are they bendier than me? In the photography world, I know a lot of you are not photographers, but in the photography world, we're so busy like looking at like, this one's more talented than me, and that one has better shots than me, and how do I get to that point? And it's really frustrating, and it's aggravating, and it's upsetting. And I think it was just a really good reminder today to use that frustration and that aggravation to improve myself, and to work on the things that I want to do versus knocking myself down and feeling bad about it. So I am going to use that frustration as fuel for my fire, but not in a way where I'm comparing myself to other people. So I left a little bit like, oh, I don't know. That was really hard. Should I come back? And I know I should go back because it was hard. Like I tell people that all the time whenever I drag my friends to yoga class with me. I'm like, they're like, I hate it. I'm like, that's exactly why you should do it, because you hate it. It means you need it. But I just wanted to kind of share that lesson from the mat, as I call it, with you guys, because comparison sucks. And you know what else sucks? When you're on your mat, so to speak, and you're looking down at other people, or like, why isn't she doing a downward dog? Like for a minute, I had a moment of like, I wonder if other people are worried, like, or concerned with the fact I'm not doing a downward dog. Like, stop looking at other people and just worry about you. Just do you. And the more work you put into you, and the more you block out other people, and you stop listening to other people, and you stop comparing yourself to other people, the better that you're going to be. And I guess that's just sort of a life lesson for the photographers out there. This is a big one. So, I know we all we all struggle with that. In the photography world, we always say that we're comparing, our journey with everybody else's highlight reel. Like when you look at a photography website, for example, you're really only seeing that photographer's best images or what they want to put forward. You don't see like the 4,000 images they took that sucked to get those 100 good images, and that's really what you're doing in life when even if you're not a photographer, when you're comparing yourself to other people, especially in the age of social media where everybody loves to go online and be like, I'm so hot and I'm so gorgeous and I have the best husband and I'm rich and I live in the biggest house and I eat the best meals, and people are not really so authentic about what's going on in their lives. we look at that stuff and we go, oh, my life sucks compared to that person. But the truth of the matter is that's their highlight reel. That's not authentic. That's not really who they are in all moments. And to find the people that are authentic and really putting their messages out there, good and bad, is, people are out there like that. I like to think that I am like that because I do really am honest with you guys about what's going on in my life. But even so, I don't tell every detail of, every sort of detail of my life. So um, it's so easy to look at somebody and compare their highlight reel, to your everyday, but we all have the same struggles. We're all the same. Um, Cancer or no cancer, I guess. And I sort of I've been really thinking about a hashtag that I can use because I kind of wanted to come up with, maybe not come up with, but sort of adopt a hashtag that really meant something to me in this journey. And one of the hashtags I'm thinking of, don't go stealing it, everybody. No, I'm kidding, because it's not really exclusive to me. But one of the hashtags that I've been thinking of is hashtag everydaysurvivor, because people use the word survivor, and I would like to think I am a survivor, but we're all survivors. We all have shit going on in our lives. We all have ups and downs and struggles. And, we tend to put people that survive disease and do amazing things and big things up on this pedestal. And there's nothing wrong with that. But by the way, the people that are just making it through life every single day and paying their bills and raising their kids and sometimes dealing with chronic pain or even a cold or even a paper cut sometimes, by the way, how annoying is that? Those people deserve recognition too. We all deserve recognition in the way that we are everyday survivors. We are all doing everything that we can do to get through every single day the best way that we possibly can. And, I want to be able to really reach in my messages, not just cancer survivors or cancer patients or people who are going through the cancer journey, but everybody that struggles with everyday shit, because we all do in one way, shape, or form. And maybe not currently, but at some point in your life, you either have or you either will. And, I'm an everyday survivor. Today, I feel awesome. I got dressed, I put on makeup, I went to yoga. I feel awesome today. I know on Monday I'm going to have chemo and I'm going to feel like crap for 4 days. But I know if I can push through those 4 days, the next 7 days will be great. And it's just everyday survival. So somebody just said, I like the message, but really you don't survive because in the end you die anyway. And okay, so I want to address that for 1 second. So yes, we all die anyway, right? Surviving is not about living or dying. I think surviving is about making the most of your life. And I went for a walk today with a friend who goes also through she has a chronic illness, and it causes her a lot of pain. And we were talking about the things that we want to do in our lives and how we ride that balance between living for today and wondering if you're going to die tomorrow or if you're going to live for a really long time, and you need to be good about saving your pennies, and you can do all that stuff when you retire. And she said, yeah, but everybody deals with that. And I said, no, I know everybody deals with that, but for us this shit's real. It's amplified it for us because we know that we are in a different position, right? We know our clock, I might live another 50 years, I don't know, but that reality of disease has touched my life, and it's going to change my decision making. Even though all of you out there that are perfectly healthy might be in the same position, because you're going to die too. We all die, right? It's the one thing we all really have in common: death and taxes, right? Those are the only two guarantees in life. But the truth is that knowing when there's disease in your life, or there's chronic pain, or there's certain issues, there's a different immediates to it. There's a different meaning to it. And so, yeah, we all have to find that line between living for the day and living for, being responsible and saving and all of that. We all have to kind of find that fine line. But this has definitely made it more real for me. So my survival is not about dying or not dying. Of course I'm going to die. Everybody dies. But my survival is about making the most of every day that I do have. And on the days that I'm struggling, to know that there's a better day ahead. And for me, that's what survival is. You can totally have a different meaning. It can mean something different to you. But for me, I'm in full blown survival mode, and it has nothing to do with my disease whatsoever. It just has to do with life. So that's the message I wanted to send you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the video. By the way, I've uploaded a whole bunch of my videos to YouTube. You might be watching this on YouTube right now, but I figured it was the best way if people want to go back and watch videos to keep track of it. So you guys can find me on YouTube under Jen Rosenbaum. And yeah, love everybody. Love your support. Thank you for the prayers. I see people are saying they're sending me prayers. I feel them and I appreciate them, and I send them back to you. I pray every single day for all of you to be happy, healthy, and to live your best life. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.